This is MLB Now, the show for the thinking fan. Do not adjust your set. I am Tom Verducci, pinch hitting for Brian Kenny. On the panel today, we've got Mike Lowell and John Heyman. We've got Yankees Red Sox. We've got Dodgers Padres. But first, if I asked you what kind of baseball wins in October, you'd probably wax poetic about making contact, moving runners, bunting, stealing, all the hallmarks of what we like to call small ball. Well, after all, runs are harder to come by in the postseason, so it makes sense, right? Wrong. I hate to break it to you. All of you baseball purists and fans who've been spoon-fed heaps of traditional narrative nonsense. But in today's game, not the 90s, not even 10 years ago, winning in October means hitting home runs. Let's do some digging in. The path to the championship is well defined. The past 5 World Series champions ranked in the top 4 in MLB in home runs. There is no correlation with putting the ball in play and winning the World Series. Look at these numbers here. 5 straight years now, power plays up and down on making contact. Now let's go back to the 2024 Dodgers, back to last year. And you think about how they won the World Series. Well, it's true that hits are harder to come by in October, but that only makes the home runs more important. As incredible as it sounds, the home run rate in the postseason last year was a bit higher than it was in the regular season. Average, slug, and hits down, home runs up. The home runs are the coin of the postseason realm. I mentioned the Dodgers last year. How did they win it? It wasn't small ball. The Dodgers hit the most home runs in the NL last year, 3rd most in Major League Baseball. And yet in the postseason, they hit home runs at an even higher clip. Let's look at the Dodgers' 2 biggest plays in the entire 2024 postseason as defined by win probability added. Both were home runs. Of course, Freddie Freeman, number 1, right? Grand Slam World Series Game 1, one swing turns a 3-2 loss into a 6-3 win. Second biggest play for the Dodgers in the postseason, Shohei Ohtani's 3-run homer in NLDS Game 1. Now, it's only the 2nd inning, but teams don't blow 3-run leads in the playoffs. The Padres did, thanks to Ohtani's homer. Overall, 5 of the Dodgers' top 9 plays from last postseason were home runs. I know what you're thinking. Tom, what about the 2015 Royals? How about those 3 Giants championship teams? Those teams didn't hit home runs. Folks, that was a decade ago. No team in the bottom half of home runs has won the World Series since the 2015 Royals. Let me say that again. No team in the bottom half of home runs has won the World Series since a decade ago. We're playing a completely different game today. You compare the game today to 2015 when the Royals won, there's a lot more power and there's a lot less contact. It's a different kind of game. We all love small ball. Postseason, home runs win. So where does that leave the best team in baseball this year, the Milwaukee Brewers? Now, I love the way they play baseball, and so does their manager, Pat Murphy. He reminds me of some of my best teachers and professors, a stickler for doing things the right way, details. Imagine Mr. Murphy teaching his 400-level baseball course. He's filling out a report card on his class. It would look something like this. When you look at the details, the little things that Brewers do well, they put the ball in play. They hit with runners in scoring position. They make contact. The pitching staff is great. They bunt. They hit the ball the other way. The last box is unchecked. That's the most important box. Home runs. Now, if form holds, the Yankees, Dodgers, and Mariners, they're 1, 2, 3 in home runs. They've got the power to win the World Series. In the next tier, you've got the Mets, Cubs, Tigers, Phillies, Red Sox, Blue Jays. That leaves only 3 teams today who are in playoff position who are in the bottom half of home runs. The Astros, the Brewers, and the Padres. Now, the Brewers are fighting against a decade worth of data when it comes to what wins in the postseason. Maybe, just maybe, they're pushing the game in a whole new direction. Maybe they were built not to follow the unwritten rules of October, but to break them. Let us know what you think on X. We're at MLB Now. What style of play wins in the postseason? We'll get to your responses a little bit later. I want to put that question to our panel. Mike Lowell, you know what it takes to win a World Series.
I'd like to think I do. That was very interesting.
How about 2025? What does it take to win?
I would say the most telling thing of that essay, Tom, is that there is so much less contact. So when you make contact, it has to mean something. Now, I'm a little stickler for if it's so unimportant, the extra base, why are guys like Mookie Betts, I looked here, Mookie Betts in 2020 stole 10 total bases in the regular season, as well as 2021. In just 15 games in the postseason in 2020, he stole 6, and in 2021, in 12 games, stole 6. So there's still an importance for the next base and everything. So let's go back to the Brewers. I think if there is a team that can kind of overcome this, it's because they do on that report card all 6 or 7 of the other categories so well.
Not just one thing.
Right.
A lot of things.
Yeah. Runners in scoring position, that's a huge thing. Get on base contact rate. So can the combination of those 6 things that they do well kind of supersede the importance of the home run? I don't know. We'll see. Usually in the postseason, you're facing better pitchers, probably better defenses, not so much the Yankees. So I don't think you have the 162-game season to expose the other teams like the Brewers do through the course of 6 months when you have probably 3 weeks to do it.
Small sample size postseason, we get that. But, John, it really surprised me looking at the numbers that when batting average and slug go down in the postseason, which we expect, home run rate actually goes up a little bit.
Yeah, this is very sad news for me. I mean, I'm learning something on this show. I mean, I've got family in Milwaukee. I was looking forward to that parade down Milwaukee Avenue for their first World Series. I mean, the numbers are very telling, and I looked at the stats this year. They're all big market teams. In that top 10 of home runs, every one of them, except for Sacramento, which is playing in a minor league park, is a big market team. And I'd like to see these smaller market teams rise up. It was fantastic when the Royals were able to do it. I'd love to see Milwaukee do it because they are doing things right. I mean, a bottom third payroll. They've got so much fan enthusiasm over there. They've never won a World Series. And as your board showed, they do everything well except for hit home runs.
Oh, yeah. It's become one of the best rivalries in baseball. We've got really good pitching matchups in this series starting tonight. Blake Snell against Yu Darvish. Tomorrow, Tyler Glasnow and Nestor Cortez. And then Sunday, Yoshinobu Yamamoto against Nick Pivetta. Mike Lowell, I look at these pitching matchups and I say, the Dodgers have been waiting all year for these moments, with those 3 guys especially, making sure they're healthy, stretched out, big series. Give me your take on this series, the way it lines up.
Well, I feel like it's the Padres' chance to say, hold on, we're going to defend our turf. You know, you did your job at home, now it's our turn. But for the Dodgers, this is why you signed Snell and Yamamoto and extended Tyler Glasnow, because you need it to come down to the meaningful games. I still consider this part of August meaningful September games. Sure. You know, they really are. And it seems like the Dodgers have been kind of jockeying to kind of set up all cylinders firing once the postseason starts. But you don't want to be the wild card team. You know, there's a big advantage to being the home, not only for the bye, but if you're the 3 seed, you host all 3 games. So there's a huge difference between, you know, going in as a wild card and going in as the division winner.
I mean, the Dodgers, to me, they're rounding into shape now. All their starters, except for Roki Sasaki, are back now and firing. I mean, Snell has been fantastic. You know, at this point, a lot with BK and I have this running joke that they've been a tad disappointing this year. Yeah, they've been a tad disappointing, but there's a reason they are the overwhelming favorite. And I'm not going to really put too much stock in the fact that they split in Colorado. They were swept by the Angels. They're ready for the Padres. They did beat the Padres last time, and right now they have those starters pitching very well, and they have those relievers about to come back, all of them, right? Kopech will be back in a week or so, but you've got Scott and Yates are within a day or 2 of coming back. So, I mean, there's a reason the Dodgers are favored to win the World Series for the 3rd time in 6 years.
Yeah, right now you have to love the Padres bullpen. But I like the way Darvish now is getting the ball for the first game of this series. I think he likes these moments, and he's just really, to me, getting into ace form coming off the IL. And when I watch him pitch here, I see a guy who's dropped his arm angle even more this year. Why? Because he's throwing a lot more sinkers now. He's become sinker slider guy more than ever. You look at his usage, throwing it more than ever in terms of that two-seamer. Vertical release point, as I mentioned, is lower. And he's limiting slug on that pitch. So when he's got command of that pitch, listen, he's got 8 pitches, so he's got command of a lot of pitches, right? I like Darvish in this spot answering the bell.
I do too, and you know that lower arm slot, there creates some deception, and the numbers tell it. But when you saw the opponent's average, it's a little bit like what I see from Lucas Giolito. You know, it seems like he's short arms, he's right out of his ear, but that extension, you don't pick it up the same way as maybe a traditional guy who comes straight over the top. So if the numbers tell that it works and it's something that he can add to his arsenal, why not do it?
But, John, I do think if you have to go get either side, get your starting pitcher early in this game, advantage San Diego.
Oh, man.
I mean, they've got closer stuff coming in 4th, 5th inning if they have to.
Right, exactly. 3 all-star relievers. They picked up Mason Miller. I mean, they are loaded in that bullpen. Outstanding. They have 2 of the best closers in the game, and they have 4 all-star caliber guys at least. Everybody there is dangerous. I think they went to school a little bit on what the Dodgers did last year. The Dodgers bullpen really outperformed even the San Diego bullpen and all the other bullpens, and San Diego made sure to really load up in that pen. It was difficult to trade for a starter. Not many teams were able to trade for a starter. There weren't a lot available, but the big ones didn't move, really, for nobody. And we know San Diego tried hard to get Gore back. Obviously, Ryan was out there. These guys did not move, and the best way for them to improve that staff was to do it in the bullpen, and that's what they did.
And, Tom, going back to the essay, the Padres are at the bottom of the barrel home runs. So do you load up on the bullpen to be able to shorten the game to almost combat the fact that you might not hit as many home runs as the year
A little better offensively now. A little
they are,
deeper
yes.
with
Better.
Laureano and O'Hearn there. Speaking of starters, I think if I asked you a couple of weeks ago who you'd give a ball to of anybody in the National League to win one playoff game, I think we'd probably say Zach Wheeler, right?